Well, I think we had asked this question a lot. You know, is it bad that the Orioles or the Nationals, or like have the Nationals coming into town affected the Keys adversely? Since the Nationals have come to town, our attendance has risen every year. A lot of our fans are coming out to the ballpark to have a great night out, an affordable evening of family fun, which is a little bit different than what your average Major League crowd is. I know the Major League is starting to try to, tend towards that audience, but it's obviously in the big league level. You've got more hardcore fans, for that team. They're going to see baseball. Here we've got the on-field games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's so many different things that we do. We've got a fun zone out here down the line with a carnival and a moon bounce kind of atmosphere, and there's a carousel down there. So it really is more of just an event than just a baseball game in minor league baseball. You'll see that in Bowie. You'll see that in Delmarva, Aberdeen, and that's why minor league baseball, it's almost a different product than Major League Baseball. Well, basically, I'm from this area. I'm from Arlington, Virginia, and I went to the University of North Carolina. And when I was down there working with the Tar Heel Sports Network and such, I was able to work in college summer league baseball. And with that, got a baseball job in the rookie Appalachian League with the Burlington Indians. They're not the Indians anymore, but the Indians at that time in 2003 and 2004. And it was kind of cool because I got to see Bluefield quite a bit with guys I would later broadcast here in Frederick. And my first full-time professional job was in Salem in this league, and that gave me quite an in after 2 years with the Salem Avalanche to come to Frederick, which was it was so neat for me being an Orioles fan my whole life growing up, and then also being so close to home, being from Arlington, Virginia, to be able to work in baseball and do what I do, and within that proximity, it is something that has been really a blessing for me. The highlights overall, I would say would really be that 2007 season. We had just a spunky, charismatic, hardworking manager, Tommy Thompson, and he was just a great guy to work with. And the team, even though we didn't have a lot of prospects offensively, in fact, I think Jonathan Tucker might even be the only guy that's still in the Orioles organization that was a part of the everyday lineups of that Keys 2007 team. We still were able to win the championship with just incredible starting pitching. And that whole run in the playoffs is something that really stands out for me. And, with that run, we had 3 of the 4 starting pitchers in the league championship series. Brad Bergeson was game 1. Jason Berkin David Hernandez was game 1, Jason Berkin was game 2, and Brad Bergeson was game 3. Those 3 guys are now in the Orioles starting rotation. And the MVP of this series was Corey Spoon, who threw 2 complete games in the playoffs, one to clinch the title in Salem. And back then I would have thought that Spoon would be the guy, up there. So it's interesting how things work, and he's trying to fight through an injury now. And he's a guy to look out for, too, in the future if he's able to come back and work the way, like he did here in Frederick. So the end of that year was just, and really that entire season, my first year in Frederick was really exciting. This year, there's just a few guys that really stand out. I think that, last year we had just a lot of marquee guys that were just outstanding. Matt Wieters, Brandon Snyder, Jake Arrieta. This year's team, though, what's so exciting about them is there's a lot of guys that, many that follow the Orioles minor league system would consider fringe prospects that have taken that step to becoming, bona fide, big league prospects, like catcher Caleb Joseph, who leads the league in hitting. I mean, you think Wieters would have a great time hitting, and obviously he did. But, Joseph has out-hit guys like Pedro Alvarez and Mike Moustakas and, big-time prospects in this league, and it's only his second professional season and first full. Shortstop Pedro Florman is an outstanding fielder. Obviously, the air total is a little bit up in the teens right now, but I mean, scouts just rave about how he can field. And for the first time here at the upper levels, or the mid levels here, the minors, he's hitting, and a lot of extra base hits. He's got some pop. After he had 5 home runs in his first 5 pro years, he's got 7 this year. So he's coming into his own. And Brandon Waring, a guy acquired in the Ryan Friel trade that sent Ramon Hernandez to Cincinnati, is now all of a sudden starting to play some third base once again with the Keys. And he's a guy to really look out for. He's second in the league in home runs, third in runs driven in. Was a starting first baseman in the All-Star game over some big-time prospects like Potomac's Chris Marrero, that many feel is their top prospect in their entire organization. So there's a lot of guys, that are the right age to be playing here and that are doing very well here in Frederick. Well, in the first half, probably one of the reasons why Frederick struggled a little bit was just the fact that the Keys had kind of an unsteady bullpen, and just some of the guys that were here just had a tough time. And now with this new crop of guys coming up, we'll see collectively how they do. It is obviously a big jump, but one guy that really sticks out is Pat Egan, who threw 3 1/3 scoreless innings in his first outing. He's a late-round pick out of Quinnipiac a few years back, and actually got a taste of Double-A baseball and did well up there. And I just think that he's got a chance. They really all have, though, a chance to do very well here in Frederick. And it's going to be a major step for the Keys in moving forward if they can solidify the pen, for Frederick. But with that being said, there's also a starter that came up, Rick Zagoni. Not easy when you're the guy that's kind of filling in for Mattis and, Brian Mattis and Tim Bascom, who were stalwarts here for the Keys in the first half. But Zagoni was just outstanding in his first outing. Just had great numbers the first 2 months in Delmarva, and he deserves to be here. And it's really exciting when players get that promotion, and I just really hope that it's a spot where he can thrive upon that and move towards his goal of moving up the ladder, which obviously is everyone's goal. And with that, with this team, it's a very deep team in Frederick right now in many different ways, and because of that, it's a team that is built to have some success now, and we're hopeful that happens.